Dust Bunny is Bryan Fuller's feature film directorial debut. All right, you might be saying, Bryan Fuller? I feel like I know that name from somewhere, but where? Well, let me tell you. He's a hot commodity in the TV industry. He's created shows like Dead Like Me, Pushing Daisies, a little show called Hannibal, American Gods, and Star Trek Discovery. Come on, folks. And now he's getting into the movie industry. He wrote and directed this movie, and it is awesome. All right, the premise is pretty simple. You get a little girl who believes there's a monster under her bed, and her parents go missing because the monster killed them, she thinks. And for some reason, she thinks her neighbor is a monster killer. So she tries to hire him, and he kind of feels bad for her. So he kind of throws her a bone, goes on a little journey with her, and one thing leads to another, and maybe she isn't crazy. Maybe there is a monster, and he decides he's going to help her. And that's the basic premise. I don't want to spoil anything, but the movie is really freaking cool. It's sweet, it's sincere, it's kind, it's one of a kind. It reminds me of like old school kids movies that were edgy and hip, but not too scary or too crazy for kids to enjoy, and parents will like it too. The whole family can enjoy this one, whether they're young, old, or someone in the middle. There's something for everyone in this. It's rated R, and I don't know why. Yeah, there's action and some gory things happening, but there's no gore. There's no blood and guts and entrails thrown around the screen. But there are guns and knives and different kinds of fights happening. And by God, the action in this movie is stellar. It is badass, balls to the wall, stylized. Not just in the action, but in everything. It's directed magnificently. The set design is stellar. It reminds me of like Tim Burton meets come on now. What's his face from it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. Now it's gonna kill me. I'm talking about Wes Anderson. It's like Wes Anderson meets freaking Tim Burton. It's like the two had a baby throughout the set design. Heck, throughout the whole movie, the vibe is both these guys. It's kind of intriguing. There's like these huge, grand, unique looking sets, these buildings, and these cool color schemes throughout the whole movie. And the wardrobe. Normally, I don't talk about the wardrobe too often, but it's very unique and very distinguished for each character, and it belongs in this world and feels natural to these characters. The cinematography is fun. There's a lot of cool things happening with the camera throughout the whole movie. The editing is really, really interesting. They do these fun, quick cuts in between things that are just unique, and it's perfect the way they do it. The score is really fun and upbeat and adds more whimsy to this movie that already has a tons of whimsy. It's great. The acting. Woo-hoo! Boy, the acting is great. Now, this movie, like I said, has a pretty simple premise, but it's silly, but everyone plays it so straight, it feels like stuff's at stake. They take it so seriously. All right, we have as the hunter, Mads Mikkelsen. Like I said, this is Bryan Fuller. He works with Mads over in Hannibal, so it's like, why not bring him over here? And he's perfect for this role. He's kind of like quiet and dangerous and mysterious, and there's this air about him that you don't know if you can trust him or not. And then you have Sigourney Weaver as his handler, and she's just freaking great in this one. And then you got David Dastmalchian popping up, and when isn't that cat fun? And they're the only people that I really know in this movie. But the cast is cool. The young girl playing the main character in this movie is stellar. She's sassy, she's upbeat, she holds her own against Mads. Heck, she even holds her own against Sigourney Weaver. Come on, that's awesome. Her name's Sophie Sloan, I think. And I think if she wants to stick with acting, she's going to make a big name for herself because she is phenomenal at such a young age. Now, I'm not saying everything's perfect in this movie because it's not. It's very talky, and there's a lot of just slowness in between the action and suspense, but it's never super boring. It kind of adds to the story what they're saying, and it enriches it slightly. But I don't know, let's see. They only have like 5 main sets in this movie, and yet they recycle them a couple of times and it works. Somehow this movie kind of feels like a made for Netflix movie, which isn't a bad thing. is interesting to me because this got a theatrical release and it looks great on the big screen, but I could totally see it playing well on the small screen. My major gripe in this movie is the fact that it has terrible CG. Like the whole movie starts off with a sequence of things that shouldn't be CG that are, and it was just appalling. And it just goes throughout the whole movie like that. And it's like, what? You spent all this money on the sets and the wardrobe and the cast and all this stuff, and then you kind of fumbled and slacked on the CG. Now, I will say, even though CG is bad, there's a certain charm about it. The main creature in this movie looks cool, but it looks cool in a way that would have been awesome back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. But for now, it's like, okay, I guess it makes sense why this movie was shelved for a few years. They filmed this back in 2023, and it's just been sitting on ice for a few years. I don't know. Either way, you can look past all that because this movie is so interesting and heartwarming and scary in its own subtle ways. I don't know. It's just such a fun movie, which I really, really suggest you check out because it might just be a new movie that you and your whole family can enjoy. I don't know. I really think it's interesting, intriguing original film. I know it's not in theaters anymore, but when it comes to streaming or Blu-ray, you gotta check it out because you won't regret it. And if you don't regret click and play on this review, do yourself a favor and hit like and subscribe to stay in the loop because I'm putting out daily videos right here on this platform. And if you happen to like pop culture podcasts, why not check out mine? It's called Movie Toast, news and reviews, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you, and please stay toasty.